Hello, my name is Augi Nadya and my student number is 163. Here I will do a presentation for Thesis Writing Design Midterm Assignment. The title of my study is A Nightmare of Racism Practice, Analysis of Racial Stereotype Occurrences Against Black People in Two Distant Strangers short film in 2020. Background of the study. Although there are many social movements and awareness on the horrible acts of racism, racism against Black people is still prevalent in our society. According to a Pew Research Center's American Trends Panel study in 2019, 78% believe the country has not gone far enough in giving Black people equal rights, and nearly half believe the country will never achieve racial equality. Racial stereotypes. Assumptions that all people of the same race share certain characteristics. Typically, these attributed characteristics are negative. By Jewell in 1993. Carter is portrayed in the film as the main character who was accidentally bumped into by a white man and was immediately accused because the officer saw him as a Black man. And I think the short film clearly demonstrates how Black people are frequently stereotyped as criminals and treated cruelly by US police. Irony. This film depicts the irony of racism in America in an indirect way. No matter how hard Black people attempt to portray a harmless side, they will always be perceived as bad and criminals. Stereotypes about Black people remain and are unchangeable. Black people may find it difficult to change stereotypes about themselves, but perhaps white people can. Significance of the object. It is related to Black Lives Matter. The film was released following the Great Protest Movement, BLM, in the United States, which contained a defense for George Floyd, who died in the same manner as the main character of this film. As a result, the research should be carried out because this film is a response to the harshness of racism that still exists in our cultural society. Racism perspective from Black people. As a cultural studies student, I want to examine the racial perspective depicted in the film. Two Distant Strangers is also directed by Black people, and we will be able to see Black people's point of view on producing films concerning racism. That the opposite object of my film is Just Mercy in 2019. It is a film based on the true experience of a Black American community that was frequently treated unfairly in US courts. This stereotype about Black people appears to be prominent in this film, which shows many Black people are on death row for mistakes they did not commit in the first place, yet simply because they are Black. Positioning of my study. The study conducted by Ardian Aridewanto in 2018 is related to my topic research since it aims to evaluate how Black Americans' characters are depicted in movies and if it improves or worsens their stereotype. It demonstrates that discrimination practices in America still persist. Another related study conducted by Azifatul Afiza in 2019 that aims to analyze how racial realism and racial idealism are portrayed in the Black Panther movie. However, instead of challenging the racism inequality, the study is more focused on achieving racial equality between two principles, being realist or idealist. A study conducted by Siti Zumratu Safia in 2019, the study focuses on racial difficulties experienced by African Americans, such as mass detentions, police brutality, and Ku Klux Klan activities. The research focuses on the injustice systems that leads to discrimination against African Americans. Now, statement of the problem. The first one is, how does racism practice emerge in Two Distant Strangers short film, which wreaked devastation on the Black community, especially in the United States? The second is how Black people struggling against racial stereotypes are depicted in the film. Now, these are the references that I use. I think that's all from me. I hope that you enjoy my presentation. Thank you for your attention. Have a wonderful day.